So we were with a previous accounting firm. Obviously, as a startup, finances are not necessarily your core competency as founders. It's
Yeah.
something that, but equally, it's also the literal foundation of what you're doing. Like without a careful eye on cash flow, you're scuppered. So I would say previously our accountants were brilliant at getting us to the stage where we were off the ground with some form of accounting and reporting mechanisms. But really, when we started and I think it was around when we got the grant from Innovate UK, we found ourselves with a different level of quantity, a kind of different order of magnitude of transactions flowing through the books. Mm-hmm. And also my time was being eaten up by grant management, but also project management and all of the ancillary stuff that comes with my job. And so I was more than happy to do all of it myself alongside the previous accountants. But really what I wanted from a new accountant was someone that I could just not really worry about it and could take away the day-to-day bookkeeping, VAT management, etc., just to kind of ease the burden a bit. And so I went out to a lot of my friends in kind of various entrepreneurial circles, and a few different firms came up, one of which was Addition. And that was how that kind of came about. It was by recommendation and referral. I was very impressed by the clarity of the prospectus, i.e. the website. I thought it was very simple, which I found refreshing. I'm not very into old-fashioned accounting. Quite a few people I would speak to, you go, oh, you pay by the hour, and it's like, oh god, I want a fixed price. Having that foundational certainty of price was very valuable to me. But then also I filled in a form and Graham was on the call, and I was like, okay, I'm quite impressed by that, and I respect that. And I think Addition obviously they're a very successful company, but they are small, and I respected working with another small company because I think it takes one to know one, and I think it's very helpful having that kind of similar stage vibe. I'm not calling them small, but you know what I mean. I think they're very passionate about the pressures on startups, and are a friendly ear, and they were from the get-go. And immediately from meeting Graham, it was a very warm welcome. There was no force used. It was very much like, we're here if you want us, this is the price, take it or leave it. And I was like, I respect that. The thing it's done more than anything is it's meant that I can trust in the bookkeeping and the general financial health of the business, and I trust that it's right, which is not to be underestimated, and it is something that the vast majority of people that I've worked with financially before fail at. And it seems bizarre to me that that's a thing, but it seems that it's very hard to find a good accountant, and Addition are a good accountant. And so that was very refreshing. There's a proficiency that comes with Addition that I respect, and it's not a given. I also appreciate having a point of contact and a same name coming to my inbox, because at the end of the day, having different names flying around, and that's something I have had before, where you, depending on the day of the week, you get a different person in. It just drives you mental, because you're trying to deal with this complex bit of VAT law, and you're not giving the same answer. You're getting a different answer depending on the day of the week, and you hire an accounting firm to have one voice. I think that they do very well. Ben and Graham were instrumental in guiding us financially through an acquisition. The kind of general bookkeeping has been excellent. I've really enjoyed working with everyone, and it's I've never been worried about it, which is nice, and all of that good stuff. But where it kind of went above and beyond was Ben and Graham during an acquisition on a timeline that was incredibly ferocious. And they were on the end of various phones at various times of day, and it wasn't necessarily one of their plans. It was done in a boutique manner. But having that as a kind of, it was just all there ready to go. And having that ability to suddenly, we when we hired Addition, we had no idea. The plan was not to get acquired, and then suddenly off we went. And they were there with us, and that's an amazing thing to have, right? And I looked at our previous accounting firm, and I don't think that would have been the case. And so, and I don't think that's the case with many accounting firms, to be honest, where they would be the same people. It was brilliant. It was very, very refreshing, and it was I'm very grateful for it. The app really does make a difference, and a good example is we're multiple co-founders in the team, and we have different expenditure across the team. And when I'm faced with a wall of receipt requests, I can very easily just link it to someone else and say, oh, they'll put it in, and then they can see what they need to put in. Right. Before, it was just a mess of just email. It was just a mess. Whereas it's far more organized, and the visibility is really, really good. So I'm very excited to see where it goes. It's very refreshing to see an accounting firm investing in their own reporting mechanisms. I think it's very good. Honestly, the startup space is probably the place for it. Having the knowledge that there's the extension and the ability to scale with you from the get-go, we would have been with them from the start. Like that journey of from day dot of a startup, ensuring your accounts are in order, it makes everyone's lives easier. So yeah, any startup, honestly, any startup. But really, I think that's the other thing. It can be complex as well. Like, you know, they have the ability to really meet your needs in any direction.